What up, everybody? It's your boy, Sinner Sanctified, and it's about that time. Long awaited. It's finally here. God or the Girl Part 2. Thank you for so many comments. Thank you for so much support. You guys have been absolutely amazing. So let's hop right in. So just a little quick recap. We went through the early beginnings of me being an altar boy in the church, and then me stepping away from the church when I had a driver's license. Kind of me finding my way into the music business from just, messing around playing basketball one night to ending up doing an audition for Rap-A-Lot. That did not go well. Now I'm on the path of meeting this young lady, the stripper, the exotic dancer, however you want to call it. I fell in love with a stripper. Anyway, so let's hop right into it. When I met this stripper, entertainer, you put whatever title you want there, right? I had no intentions of really dating her. I never wanted to date a stripper. Too many complications. Plus, I'm a real jealous type person, and that just wasn't gonna, mesh very well. But what ended up happening is she had her own place, and I started spending more and more time at her place. And she had some of the craziest friends, hot, sexy, all that. And I remember this one friend she had, her name was Little Bit. Shout out Alicia. What up, girl? She was cool. She always hung around us. It was fun, right? It was a good environment. A lot of her friends became clients. So you talk about friends with benefits. Yeah, it was friends with benefits, all right. I was meeting all her friends and serving all her friends, and then they would go tell all their friends, and it was like a built-in little mini business, whatever they needed to party with, I supplied them. And then they told their girlfriends, and they had money because they were strippers, and it just seemed to work out very well. So I'm at her place, we're hanging out a lot, I'm hanging out with all her friends, and business is really going very, very well. I know she's an exotic dancer, and she has a customer or two that, she speaks with outside of the club. And one of the people that she was talking to or dating or whatever you want to call it, I distinctively remember his job. And he was a cash mule for the cartel. And what he would do is he would get the money from the dealer guys, and then he would have it packed up, and his main job was to drive the cash over the border. I distinctively remember this is because when I had found out about it, there's a lot of cash in that car. And if you show me where that car's at, I'm gonna go get that cash. Never was big on robbing people or stealing from people. It was never my motive, I always felt like I'm gonna go get it myself. I don't need to steal from other people. But when there's $300,000 in cash in the back of someone's car, it starts to get really, really tempting. And so I remember sitting outside of her apartment, kind of watching to see when this guy would show up, right? Remember one night I was with a buddy of mine, and we were gonna wait for him to get inside of the apartment, and we were gonna break in the car and get that money. I remember sitting out there waiting for him, and then he shows up. All right, here's our opportunity. We're gonna go grab this money and burn out. Well, as we're about to start things and kick things off, I get a text message from her. Now, she's not aware of what I'm thinking about doing, but I get this text message from her about, hey, listen, things aren't going well. Where are you? I need to see you. And I'm like, well, shit, Well, apparently they got into a huge fight. And I don't know what the fight was about, but he ends up coming out, and I see him leave. And my opportunity to grab that cash is now gone. And I'm like, phew. There was $300,000 that we could have, gotten. But what ended up happening is they were in some type of argument. I remember going over to her place, and she was very scared. I just don't feel safe here. Let's get out of the house for the night, right? So we go, party, do our thing. And then all of a sudden we're out and about, and she needs to meet up with this guy. And I'm with her. And I'm like, oh, this isn't going to be good. So we end up meeting up with the guy in a parking lot. And she gets out the car to go talk to him, and there's another guy following him. And then all of a sudden, the guy she was talking to go over to the other car and start cursing in Spanish. This isn't gonna be very good at all. And then a shotgun gets pulled out, and the guy sticks the gun to his head and says, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And this is all happening so quickly, and she is in the car now, paranoid, scared out of her mind. And the guy who's got the shotgun to his face is telling him, hey man, calm down, bro. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to be this way. Whatever you're doing, we can fix it. They end up calming the situation down, but the guy who stuck the shotgun in the other guy's face apparently was his boss, right? Well, you don't stick a shotgun in the face of your boss, especially if he works for the cartel. He then went on the run and he couldn't be found, right? But his boss knew that this girl was dating him. She starts getting really freaked out. Like, she goes to work and his boss is at the club and his boss is asking all kind of weird questions, right? She ends up calling me. I end up going talking to her and she goes, well, look, I don't feel safe here. Well, you come with me for, a week or so. And I'm like, sure, whatever. And I'm thinking we're going on some adventure. But all anything we're doing is we're going from hotel to hotel hiding from this guy. Meanwhile, I don't have my regular customer base. This is all getting very weird, very fast. And I'm thinking to myself, this isn't good, right? But during that time that we're hiding, from spot to spot, we start falling in love. We start talking about each other's dreams and passions. And she doesn't do drugs and I do a lot of drugs. Like, opposites attract, but not really. We end up falling in love. After me being her protector, her savior, we decide you can't live at your old spot and you can't go back to work, which is kind of fitting into my motive of not being able to date a stripper. Not that I wanted to, but I didn't want to date a stripper. She had a reason to kind of quit her job, and she had another reason to kind of leave her apartment that she was in. We end up getting a spot together, and at the same time, I'm in the middle of my rap career. I'm going around, I'm meeting new artists and I'm meeting new radio people. And every time I go somewhere, I make sure to bring my weed. It's my business card. The doors just seem to fly open. God is nowhere in this. I'm not going to church. I'm not really in the word. I don't know or have any Christian friends at this point. I distinctively remember in high school, my mom saying, why don't you want to go hang out with the kids at the church? They're having pizza and watching movies over there. I told my mom, those aren't the cool kids. I got a reputation to maintain. Like, this is something serious. And so after high school, kind of like the same thing, right? They would still have these youth groups and youth meetings, but I would never go to any of them. My mom would tell me, hey, why don't you go hang out with the church kids? And I was like, those aren't really the cool kids, Mom. But I didn't know that those were the cool kids. I was hanging out with the losers, right? But I thought that they were the cool kids, but they really weren't. Now I have this client list of strippers and people in the music business that I'm dealing with. Everything starts to move a little bit fast. I end up meeting Hawk, who ends up getting on the country rap tune. Hawk introduces me to DJ Screw. DJ Screw was like the most hottest artist DJ out there in Houston. Everybody loved his mixtapes. He was known everywhere. And if you were on a DJ Screw mixtape, you were famous. That's how popular he was. Everybody was banging Screw, sipping lean, smoking weed, popping pills. That was the lifestyle. When I met Screw, we instantly hit it off. DJ Screw said, I like what you're doing. What do you think about being part of the Screwed Up Clique? And DJ Screw never really asked anybody to be part of the Screwed Up Clique. It was just really a bunch of guys just hanging out. It was just like friends. It wasn't like a clique or you being inducted into something. But I was like, wait a minute, this is something serious. This dude's gonna say, toe down, the first white boy in the Screwed Up Clique. This is legendary type stuff. We end up doing all his vocal recordings for my record in advance because DJ Screw only used wax when he would do the slowed down versions. He didn't work off CDs. He only did it off wax. As we're getting the wax for him to slow down the whole album, he ends up passing away. So we got all of his vocals recorded for the album, but we don't have him slowing down the record. This really hit me a different kind of way because at that time, rumors going out about why he passed away. I was really messed up about that. Here this guy is that I'm hanging out with every day, that I'm working with on music, that I'm over at his house. He's over at the studio all the time. Now I can't even look at the phone. It's that bad. We're going to leave it right there. It's your boy, Sinner Sanctified, favored by faith, saved by God's grace. Stick around for God or the Girl, Part 3. Kirk out.